nature of the agenda that we have today, and that we need to start early to go through, and also that we need to do justice to those who are here at 10 a.m. I really appreciate that, because at times we can get excited and get off track, but when you have elders that can draw our attention and you have people who can listen, things always go right. Thank you, Prof. I also want to appreciate Dr. Mrs. Dempsey for that song. Provided a good platform for me to make this opening statement. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not just an ordinary convention. If you go through the program, you see that the decisions that we'll be making today can either make or break this organization. So I'm begging on us all to pay attention on the things that we'll be discussing here. And I can assure you that we'll go through the agenda, because what is important is not how much time we spend on a particular item, but on how straightforward we are with the conversations. One thing, and I would like the media to actually show that the hall is empty when we are starting. As disappointing as it is, I think the empty hall also carries a message. When it comes to discussing the future of the BLM, we cannot wait for people. Because if we keep waiting for everybody to come, we will never get there. So I am interpreting the empty hall, that the rest of the BLM people, those who are still to join us, to know that when it comes to business, we don't wait for anybody. Ever since I took over, that has been the way I operate. I don't wait for people. If you're ready, you join me. If you're not ready, well, you will see us far ahead. So I want to call on us all to really pay attention to what we discussed today, to take the different headings, especially the new executive and the later life administrators that will be replacing. I want us to pay attention, because those decisions can either make or break this organization. We have done our due diligence behind the scene to draft the framework that will guide us in deliberation. And I don't think anything is going to be so much of an obstacle. Again, I want to thank you all so much, not just for coming, but for coming on time. And I wish that we are honest, sincere, and respectful in our deliberation. Thank you so much. Notables, distinguished members of the Board of Trustees, chapter presidents, founder presidents, elders, invited guests, brothers and sisters of the BLM. Good afternoon. Every generation is remembered for one defining responsibility. For our generation, that responsibility is whether we will leave the BLM more united, more connected, more empowered, and better prepared for the future than we found it. Many of us here today grew up in a village where opportunities were limited, roads were difficult, communication was slow, and dreams often depended on leaving home. Yet, despite all those limitations, the BLM produced teachers, nurses, doctors, professors, entrepreneurs, and leaders across the world. Imagine what our children can achieve if we intentionally build the infrastructure and opportunities that many of us never had. This afternoon, as we gather once again under the banner of unity, identity, and development, I stand before you, humbled by the journey we've traveled together, and hopeful about the future that lies ahead for our beloved BLM. As I reflect on this journey since taking over as the CEO of LECDA-USA in 2023, one thing becomes very clear to me. Building the BLM is not an event. It is a process. It is a sacrifice. It is a commitment that requires vision, patience, persistence, and collective responsibility. When we assumed office in 2023, we inherited the Agenda 28 vision proposed by Chief Outgoing. After careful reflection and engagement with the BOT, we collectively agreed that the future we design for the BLM requires a long-term and more strategic blueprint. That is how Agenda 28 evolved into what we now proudly call the BLM Paradise Vision 2050. The decision was intentional. We understood that transforming the BLM would not happen overnight. We understood that no single administration, no single chapter, and no single generation could accomplish this task alone. We needed a vision large enough to unite generations, inspire long-term thinking, and mobilize sons and daughters of the BLM across the world. Since then, our focus has been to move this vision from mere words into action. Over the past 3 years, we have carried out sensitization efforts across different parts of the world to promote the BLM Paradise Vision. We engaged our brothers and sisters in Europe through LECDA-EU. We attended meetings in Canada to present the vision. We engaged chapters and communities across the United States, both physically and remotely. Everywhere we went, the message remained the same. The future of the BLM demands the involvement of every son and daughter of our land. One of the most important decisions we made was to place the funds and traditional institutions at the center of this vision. During the Arizona Convention in 2025, we intentionally designed the convention team and activities to honor our traditional rulers and create room for meaningful dialogue across the future of the BLM. For the first time in a long while, we created an opportunity for a conclave where funds, political leaders, and members of the diaspora elite could sit together and discuss the future of our land within the framework of the BLM Paradise 2050. That meeting produced important resolutions, including the need to revamp LECDA Cameroon so that a BLM Paradise Commission could eventually be formed to move forward with the blueprint of the vision. While the process is currently stalled because of difficulties in establishing LECDA Cameroon, the Arizona Convention still marked an important turning point. It demonstrated that when traditional leadership and diaspora work together, meaningful conversation about the future of the BLM becomes possible. Some challenges, brothers and sisters. We have continued strengthening our chapter and community engagement over the years. However, one reality becomes increasingly obvious. Building LECDA-USA requires much more than waiting on the convention season to collect annual dues. Building a strong organization requires constant engagement, sacrifice, communication, accountability, and leadership. One difficult reality we must confront, honestly, is that the active participation rate within LECDA-USA remains very low compared to the thousands of sons and daughters of BLM living across the United States. Yet, despite this limitation, the few committed individuals continue carrying the project, sustaining conventions, supporting solidarity efforts, and keeping the vision alive. Imagine what would happen if broader participation became our culture rather than our exception. One of the biggest challenges we continue to face at the BOT level is inconsistent participation from sub-chapter and fandom leadership. We must understand that LECDA-USA cannot grow if a few individuals continue carrying the responsibility, while others remain passive observers. Another challenge is individuals accepting responsibilities that they may not truly have the time or capacity to fulfill. Since service to LECDA-USA is voluntary and mostly done during our personal free time, Commitment and availability matters greatly. As we continue with election and leadership transition, I humbly encourage everyone, if you know you are unable to perform a duty effectively, please do not accept the responsibility simply for title and prestige. Leadership must be about service, responsibility, and results. We've also witnessed some achievements. Despite the challenges, we have also recorded meaningful progress. One major success story has been the growth of LECDA Solidarity Group, formerly known as LECDA Life. Through deliberate enrollment efforts, including the new CEO enrollment campaign, town hall meetings in Ohio and Boston, Zoom engagement with coordinators, presentation at funerals, community meetings, and special enrollment honoring our funds during the Arizona Convention, membership has more than doubled. As a result, the contribution per debt has dropped significantly from approximately $10 when we took over office to approximately $4 today. This achievement demonstrates the power of unity, participation, and collective responsibility. Beyond providing support to families during moments of loss, LECDA Solidarity Group has also evolved into one of the strongest pillars supporting the activities and sustainability of LECDA-USA itself. This year alone, as we heard from the report, LECDA Solidarity Group has contributed approximately $40,000 to LECDA-USA in support of our mission and organizational activities. This remarkable contribution did not happen by accident. It is a result of years of sacrifice, coordination, discipline, mobilization, and commitment by the administrators, coordinators, and members of LECDA Solidarity Group. I therefore want to extend profound appreciation to all the LECDA Solidarity Group administrators and the administrative assistants for their extraordinary sacrifice, leadership, and dedication in building and sustaining this program over the years. Let's give them another hand of applause. Their work has not only strengthened LECDA solidarity among sons and daughters of the BLM during moments of grief, but also helped create a strong financial and organizational foundation for LECDA-USA itself. We also made history by opening project submission to 17 condoms of the BLM. 8 condoms responded successfully, and some of the projects have already been completed with visible impact in their communities, while others are still in progress. This tells us one thing very important. When opportunities are created and communities are mobilized, development becomes possible. We have also continued supporting important community-based initiatives through the BLM partnership and collaboration with funding and development organizations on the ground. Among these efforts was our support toward the Kudo and Wakudo health campaign in Cameroon, initiative that brought health outreach and medical attention closer to communities in need within the BLM. We also supported efforts toward the reopening of St. Augustine College, an institution that carries significant educational and historical importance for our people. This intervention may appear modest when viewed individually, but together they reflect an important philosophy behind the BLM Paradise Vision 2050. Our progress may sometimes appear slow, but every meaningful journey of transformation begins with deliberate steps, partnership, and sacrifice. We have also made significant progress towards strengthening the digital presence and visibility of LECDA-USA through the development of LECDA-USA website, which is over 80% complete. For many years, one major challenge we faced as an organization was the absence of a strong digital platform to properly showcase our people, culture, activities, project, history, and achievement to the world. Today, that is gradually changing. In many ways, this website represents the digital rebirth of the BLM identity in the diaspora. As we continue refining and expanding the website, we hope it will become an important digital home for sons and daughters of the Etiendem across the world and the value tool for future generations. Now I address the convention signature project. I'm sorry, I have to be long. My brothers and sisters, we arrived at one of the most important conversations of this year's convention: internet connectivity and digital transformation in the Etiendem. The idea of internet connectivity was introduced during the Arizona convention. In Atlanta, we are taking the vision further because we strongly believe that connecting the Etiendem to the world is no longer optional, it is necessary. Our proposal to establish 3 internet hubs across the 3 subdivisions of the Etiendem is not simply about computers or Wi-Fi. It is about opportunity. It is about our children, access to digital education and online learning. It is about supporting telemedicine and improving healthcare access. It is about entrepreneurship, research, innovation, and global communication. It is about ensuring that a child sitting in the Etiendem can compete with a child sitting anywhere else in the world. The world is changing rapidly. Technology is shaping economies, education, healthcare, communication, and governance. If the Etiendem remains disconnected, we risk leaving another generation behind. This is why I continue to say that internet connectivity is not a luxury, it is infrastructure for the future. As part of this initiative, our vision is to establish 3 fully functional internet hubs, one in each subdivision in the Etiendem, with approximately 50 internet-enabled computer stations per hub, powered by reliable connectivity solutions such as Starlink technology. Our goal is to begin laying the operational foundation for the first phase immediately following this convention through fundraiser, partnership, technical planning. The Atlanta team will continue presenting more details regarding this initiative and the implementation strategy. But tonight, I want to challenge all sons and daughters of the Etiendem to embrace this project as a collective responsibility. The Etiendem Vision 2050 will not be achieved through speeches. It requires participation, sacrifice, innovation, accountability, and unity. We may not achieve everything immediately, but we must continue planting seeds for the future generation. Because the future of the Etiendem is something we inherit, it is not something we build. At this junction, I have some institutional changes recommendations that are tabled to the Assembly, and one of them will be with regard to LECDA Solidarity Group. After serving this organization over the past 3 years and working closely with the LECDA Solidarity Group administrator, it became increasingly clear that succession criteria for administrators are not sufficiently defined within our bylaws. Following the discussion with both the administrators and the BOT, I respectfully submit the following recommendation for consideration. Replace 2 LECDA Solidarity Group administrators this year, in addition to one that was replaced in 2023, and continue with the process of replacing 1 administrator each year beginning next year until the pioneer administrators are gradually transitioned. This staggered process provides room for new leadership to be introduced into the administration while gaining the necessary experience and continuity as older administrators gradually transition out. The current term of the LECDA Solidarity Group administrator will remain 5 years, renewable once. 2. Ensure that any new administrator appointed or elected is someone already familiar with the operation of LECDA Solidarity Group, preferably someone currently serving as a group coordinator or actively involved in the program. The second submission, LECDA-USA operational support. One major lesson I have personally learned over the past 3 years is that the office of the CEO of LECDA-USA increasingly functions like a full-time responsibility, mobilizing people, coordinating activities, engaging stakeholders across continent, fundraiser, conflict resolution, communication, and sustaining momentum requires enormous time, energy, and resources. For this reason, I believe the Assembly should seriously consider empowering the BOT to establish an operational budget structure that can assist the office of the CEO in effectively carrying out the work of the mobilization and bringing sons and daughters of the BLM across the world together. I feel the need to make this recommendation that will make the administration easy for my successor. I must say, this office comes with a lot of responsibility. People are scared to come because they don't want to spend. It is huge. The third recommendation, I'm formally proposing both LECDA-USA and LECDA Solidarity Group undergo independent audits. Since my time serving as the CFO of LECDA-USA and since the inception of LECDA Life, now LECDA Solidarity Group, neither entity has undergone a formal audit process. This proposal is not driven by suspicion, but by commitment to transparency, accountability, and institutional credibility. If we truly aspire to achieve the BLM Paradise vision, we must continue strengthening public trust through sound governance and good organizational practices. The frequency and framework for subsequent audits should be clearly defined before the end of this convention. It is not good for an organization to go this long without an audit. Appreciation. I want to begin this appreciation section by expressing my profound gratitude to my wife. Miss Etiendem, whom I often describe as the BLM First Lady. A title she does not always like, but one that reflects the enormous role she has played throughout this journey. For my years serving as the CFO of LECDA-USA up to this present moment as CEO, she has remained a constant source of encouragement, patience, understanding, and support. The office of the CEO of LECDA-USA comes with enormous demand, sacrifices, late-night meetings, constant communication, travel, emotional pressure, and countless hours away from family. Over the years, I've come to realize that successfully serving in this office is never an effort of one individual alone. It takes an entire family making sacrifices behind the scene. Public service, community organization often demand silence. Sacrifices from spouses and family who rarely receive public recognition. Yet, they carry the significant portion of the burden. So my wife, thank you for standing beside me throughout this journey. One other person is not here, Professor Etiendem, but I want to also recognize him for his support. Constitutionally, former CEOs are supposed to stay in the board for 1 year and then transition. But Professor Etiendem has been there for me all 3 years until last week. Great appreciation to my board of trustees, especially those who spend countless time with me. There are 23 board members. I hardly had a meeting with 12 board members, but some are always there. And this is an opportunity. What they might say CEO, but I think the success we witness here is not the work of an individual, but it was the work of a team. Not forgetting all our donors, those who pay the annual dues and make significant contribution to LECDA-USA. To the incoming administration, I do not want to hand over. I do not hand over a perfect organization. I'm handing over a growing vision, a stronger foundation, and the people who are gradually beginning to believe again in what is possible for the BLM. Protect this vision, improve on it, expand it, and most importantly, keep our people united. As I conclude this afternoon, I want to sincerely thank the Board of Trustees again, our funds who are not here, but represented by the traditional rulers, chapter president, founder presidents, the hardworking administrators, coordinators, and members of LECDA Solidarity Group, our donors, volunteers, and every son and daughter of the BLM who believe in this executive and our vision. The road ahead may not be always easy, but I remain convinced that the future of the BLM can be brighter than its past if we remain united and committed. Years from now, future generations may not remember every speech we gave or every meeting we held, but they will live with the consequences of the decision we make today. Let us therefore remain unity. Let us therefore choose unity over division, vision over complacency, and sacrifice over indifference. Let history say that this generation of sons and daughters of the BLM refused to give up on its people. Let us move from vision to action. Let us move from ideas to implementation. Let us move from division to collaboration. Let us move from isolation to connectivity. And together, let us continue building the BLM paradise we dream about for generations to come. Thank you so much, and may God bless the BLM.
I think we should all stand and give the CEO a standing ovation. Mr. CEO, even though you thought the speech was long, but it wasn't. I think it just reflected the scale of our problems.